What's up guys? This is Brent with 247parts.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how to level the deck on your John Deere S220. First step is going to be checking tire pressure and making sure that it is at the correct pressure. So what we need is we are looking for 14 PSI in our front tires and 10 PSI in our rear. So go ahead and break out that gauge and adjust that tire pressure if necessary. Next, we're gonna choose our height of cut to measure at. And what I usually like to do is move our deck down here to 3. Reason being is that gives me enough room to get my hand underneath the deck, but also gets me lower down in a little more accurate measurement than if I was up at 4. So keep in mind that your readings over here are going to be in inches, so they should match up with your deck leveling gauge that you're going to be using. So if we have it set at 3 here on our height selector, we're going to be looking for a reading of 3 on our deck leveling gauge. Now, if you do not have one of these deck leveling gauges, you can go to 247parts.com and get you one to help with this process. So we're gonna start over here on the right-hand side, and the first thing we're looking for is our side-to-side measurement, meaning that we're going to get underneath the deck, turn the blades to where they are pointing out to the side on each blade of the deck. On the S220, it's going to be a 42-inch deck, so we have 2 blades. We're going to measure them to the outside, and we're looking for 3 inches at the blade tip. And if it is not at that 3-inch mark, then we'll go into our adjusting. So first thing we're going to do, raise up our chute here, reach underneath and grab our blade, and get it swung out to where it is right here, facing completely outward right here. Then we're going to take our gauge, slide it underneath, make sure it's sitting flat, and then see where it's measuring at. Now remember, we have our height set at 3, but we are measuring 2.5. So we are way off here. We are going to really need to do some adjusting. So where we're going to do that is right underneath here on this hanger arm, right back here at the back of the deck. You're gonna see this nut right here on this hanger attached to this J-bolt. And so what we're gonna need to do is raise that up. So what we're gonna have is a 15mm socket, or you can do this with a wrench, and we're going to tighten this up to get that to raise that up. Now, as you tighten that up, you should start seeing more threads come out the bottom here, just so you know that you are going the correct way. And we're looking for a 1/2 inch of adjustment. So I'm gonna kind of gauge that off of what my threads look like there. And then now I'm gonna move back underneath and retake that measurement. And now we're right in between 3 and 3 1/8. So we want to be within 1/8 of an inch on our adjustment. So from here, we're gonna leave that there and then move to the other side, take our measurement, do the adjustment there until we get these right at about 3. So you're gonna be going back and forth from one side to the other to make sure and get those adjusted. We're gonna have the exact same adjustment bolt on the other side. We're just not gonna be as easy to see the blade because we won't have the chute. All right, so now over here on the left-hand side, same procedure. Make sure and get your blade rotated to the outside where you can feel your blade tip. And I can already tell you from as much adjustment as we had to do on the other side, we're going to be doing just about the same here. Sure enough, we are sitting at 2.5 again when we should be at 3. So we're going to go the same route, go back here to our adjustment bolt and start raising this up. Let's take another measurement here. All right, right, still got about a 1/4 inch to go. All right, so we're just a touch under 3. So I'm gonna give it just a couple more turns here. Perfect, so that puts us right at 3. Now, the next step from here is we need to go back across, check our other side, see if anything's changed, and then double check this side again before we go ahead and move to our front adjustment. Now, once we have gone from side to side and made sure that our measurements going out to the sides of the deck are at 3 inches or within that 1/8 of an inch, now what we're looking for is our levelness from front to rear, which is called rake. So what we're looking for is in the front of the deck, we want that 3 to remain true. We want it to be really close to 3, maybe just a touch lower, but then in the rear, we need that to be between an 1/8 of an inch and a 1/4 of an inch higher than it is in the front. And the reason for this is because this eliminates what's called double cutting. So we want to make sure that we have that 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch difference in from the front to the back. So what we're gonna do is reach underneath, get our blade spun to where it's pointing to the rear and to the front. And we're gonna go underneath with our gauge, measure our front blade tip first. Take that measurement, and we are just right at 3, maybe a touch under, so that is good. Now what we're looking for is a higher measurement here at the rear. And sure enough, here at the rear, we are almost 3 1/4. So that is where we want to be as far as the difference in our rake. Now, if we happen to have ended up with 3 in the front, 3 in the back, or let's say, you know, we were way too low in the front and too high in the back, where we would go to make that adjustment would be this bracket in the front, right underneath right here. This is our front deck hanger. So what we would do is, if we needed to go up with this, with the deck, with the front of the deck to get that measurement right, then we would tighten down on this bolt here, or on this nut here. And if we needed to lower the front of the deck, then we would loosen up on this nut, and that would drop the deck here. Now, once again, this is going to use that 15mm socket and wrench that you've already been using, or socket and ratchet, rather. So if you need to make that adjustment, it's as simple as adjusting that one bolt, either loosening it to lower or tightening it to raise. So that's it, guys, on the leveling the deck of your John Deere S220. Hope you liked this video. I hope it helped you out. And if it did, we just ask you to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you guys need any parts for your John Deere equipment, make sure to go check us out at 247parts.com. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Hey, guys, make sure to go buy your parts right here and subscribe right here.